Absolute wealth. Real investors, real results.
Hubert Centers here. Let's take a look at Barnes & Noble and Kors. I'm not talking about the beer. I'm talking about Michael Kors, the fashion designer. So there's two different things I want to put out to you on these charts. So on this example, we're going to use the digital ink here again. We've got this example where we've got, obviously, this is an earnings-related announcement, right? And it's Barnes & Noble, or it could be a new product announcement, but usually it's earnings. And you can see that it opens up huge and sells off like crazy the first day. If you make a new low on that second day, chances are you're going to have some follow through. Not always, but it's a good chance. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fill half of this gap, and then you're going to go try to test the full gap fill. And you can see that did happen in Barnes & Noble. And now we're below this gap fill, which usually signifies a fairly good short. You're below the break-even mark before it had earnings, and it's going lower. So number one, that's a good short. Now, if you compare this to KORS, and what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to share with you and show you the difference between something that's strong and something that's very weak. So now here on Kors, Michael Kors, you can see that number one, you had a really good strong up day. It held. You did not make a new low. You actually made a new high. Now, it did come back, pull back, and tested this low and then cruised substantially higher. And then after that, it started chopping around from, 49 to, 35. It did come down here and do a half a gap fill. And it almost did a full gap fill, but it didn't. And close is usually good enough in hand grenades and horseshoes, but not with gap fills. It's close enough for government work, right? But it did not fill. And since it did not fill, that tells you that it's stronger. Because a normal 50% retracement is natural. A full gap fill means weaker. And then notice what you see. When it got down here and it tested this area, it did not violate it. In other words, it didn't take it out and go substantially lower. What it did is it held, bounced up higher, and then boom, you got another earnings thing. Look, big up day move, follow up, making a new high. History's probably going to repeat itself with this one. So take a look at those two, KORS and BKS. Good luck. Hope it helps. Here's to bigger winners more often.